Hey there, welcome everybody. Welcome to our Field Artillery Air Defense Artillery presentation. We have Cadet Lester, if you can see him, I hope you can. Myself, Cadet Jurgens, Emma Lurch, Ben Massey, Nick McCarthy, and Shane McCleary. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right, so starting out, we're going to watch a HUA video on field artillery.
All right, Cadet Lester, I'm just going to set you to the side there. Okay, so field artillery, what is it? It was founded on the 17th of November in 1775 when the Continental Congress basically said that Henry Knox was going to be the colonel of the regiment of artillery. So they just made this colonel basically head up the field artillery regiment, and it officially entered service on January 1st, 1776. The mission statement of the field artillery is to destroy, defeat, or disrupt the enemy with integrated fires to enable maneuver commanders to dominate and unify land operations. A field artillery officer is a 13 Alpha, and the steps to becoming an officer in field artillery are to go to BOLIC, which is 18 weeks at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And then they're going to do 12 months in the field learning fire support, observed fire, fire direction, platoon leadership, basically practicing the skills they've learned in BOLIC to actually lead out in the field before going to their duty assignment. The pay average is about $60,000 per year with an approximate bonus of $32,000. Let's go on to the next slide. So, should you become a field artillery officer? Some things to be thinking about, obviously, like all officers. Are you physically fit? Are you interested in working with different elements of accuracy, technology that's going to let you basically kill the enemy? And are you interested in technical, electronic, mechanical, and computer systems, things like that? Some things that hopefully interest you are radar operations, navigating terrain using maps, GPS, different technology, command and control systems, operating with digital data, different networks, and then being able to use electronic systems to identify and eliminate targets. Hopefully you should also have an interest in air defense, artillery tactics as well, because as a field artillery officer, you'd be using those. You're going to be pulling those in and then establishing and maintaining comms. Some skills, you want to be self-disciplined, confident, hopefully intelligent, physically fit, mentally fit, able to make quick decisions, and you're going to be handling a lot of different roles. So being able to bear numerous responsibilities, and I think the only requirement is to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test, which is something you take to prepare you for a lot of different to see where you should go into which branch anyway. But yeah, that's field artillery.
So jumping into some potential assignments field artillery has, they say you want to serve in a variety of duty positions based in growth, and they want to continue, like most Army officers in most positions, the goal is to grow and continue gaining more knowledge on your vocational field. So field artillery officers are broken up into 3 categories, which are key developmental, which are assignments at a given rank that have to be completed. They're like the big check the box type of things. An example of that is battery command as a captain in FA. After that, they have developmental, and that's more, they enhance your warfighting capabilities, but they're not as required as the key developmental ones are. And so they're just going to make you better as an Army officer. And then broadening is the last topic, and it's to provide purposeful expansion of knowledge. So that can be both internal and external to the Army. So different college degrees and things like that are all encouraged in field artillery. Here are some of the different duty stations you can go to. This is where all of the various field artillery, Army field artillery units are based. I'm not going to go through and read all of them, but there's a lot of different options across the country. And then from here, we can move on to the roadmap that a lot of us have. And you can see here, after going through Bullock, you're going to have opportunities to go to different schools, then take over different battery and battalion commands as you progress up through captain and captain's career course. And then up to major, you can be a battalion XO, S3, things like that.
Cool. All right, we're going to move into air defense artillery, so let's watch this quick video.
I can't expect you to see, and my voice is destroyed. I'm a human machine. If the future is bleak, but I shouldn't give myself a being dissected and pretentious. A simple sound, a heavy sigh could win the whole world over. Live in fear of being someone.
Cadets, congratulations on all you've accomplished. You've done an incredible job managing the responsibilities of ROTC while balancing a full-class schedule. Excelling as students and cadets, you should be proud of your efforts. A little bit of thoughts about air defense. Air defense is growing. We're going from mud to space. I'm really excited about the growth of our short-range air defense capability that's going to complement already busy and exciting Patriot and THAAD forces that are deployed across the globe.
I realize your insecurities will get the best of you.
Cool. So like General McIntyre was talking about, this is kind of a new branch. It's growing a lot. It was originated from the Coast Artillery Corps in 1920 and then was officially founded on June 20th, 1968. This is kind of a similar branch to field artillery. They do a lot of the same things, incorporate a lot of the same types of weapon systems. So you'll do Bullock at Fort Sill in Oklahoma, and then kind of get used to what kind of weapon systems you're going to be using. A lot of the same skills, a lot of the same job competencies that you want to have are from field artillery. Like he talked about, the Patriot missile system as an anti-ballistic missile system. So that's on the right, sitting on the back of that truck. It's pretty cool. That video was pretty sweet. Watching it launch out of the back of the truck, I thought it was pretty badass. The Stinger is a handheld or a man-operated surface-to-air missile system. So that's the one right below or right to the left of the Patriot missile system. And as you can see, it's being held by one dude. So pretty lightweight, and can take out like drones and surveillance or other missiles that are flying in the air.
So for the training for air defense artillery, it's kind of a lot of the same stuff as field artillery. One of the things you have to know is radar operations and command and control systems. And then terrain navigation is a big thing to understand where your missile and target's coming from. You have to be able to operate digital data in communication networks. Communication networks is another important thing, being able to network your all your equipment and weapons and where they're going. And then identify and engage targets electronically. A lot of the big things in ADA is that you're kind of working in the field, but at the same time, a lot of the technology is behind a desk and computer operated, so you have to be able to identify and engage targets electronically. Some characteristics of a Army Air Defense officer is capable of performing under pressure. This is important because you kind of have to react fast when incoming missile or aircraft's coming. You don't have much time to wait. Good critical thinking skills and high attention to detail, because you're kind of firing a missile to hit another missile sometimes. So you have to be pretty accurate with what you're doing and know exactly what you're doing. You have to be technologically savvy, which is, as I stated earlier, that a lot of this stuff is kind of computer operated. So you have to understand how to work much of the information in computer systems. And then you have to have the ability to make quick decisions, which is kind of the same as performing under pressure, being able to know what's happening, reacting, and responding fast.
All right, Lester.
All right.
So for this next slide, we're going to be talking about potential assignments as an air defense artillery officer. Now, what that means is basically what kind of assignments that you might be doing as a future leader, and what are some of the skills that you might be needing in order to be successful in these kind of operations. It's very common that you might be able that you might operate in joint or multinational forces. The reason why is because as an ADA officer, you would need to work in different cultural settings, whether if it's in our own armed forces, like with the Navy or Marines, or even other nations. The reason why we want to do this is because we would like to strengthen our relationship with other nations or armed forces, especially in this kind of field, since technology is advancing. It's good to know good battle strategies in order to defend our allies, and so they would do the same for us. Another one is to identify targets and gather intelligence. This goes for the communication part. You would need to know how to communicate to your soldiers or to higher ups whenever there is a very stressful situation. You would want to keep calm and basically keep your soldiers knowing the situation. And then the last part is to collect or integrate battlefield information. This goes for knowing what's going on in your surrounding areas. Make sure that your troops know what's going on and what kind of situation they're going into. All right, next slide. So again, this is basically the career progression. As a second lieutenant, you'll be going to BOLIC at Fort Sill. Most likely, you'll become a platoon leader or an executive officer during your entire LT time. Then once you get promoted to captain, you'll be going to the captain's career course, and you'll be in charge of a battery, which is basically the company size, but for air defense artillery and field artillery. And then once you get promoted to major, you'll be going to ILE, which is intermediate level education, and that's basically just graduate level school. So anything that you want to pursue in, you'll be getting your graduate's degree, and you'll be going on from there. That's it from me.
Awesome. Well, those are our citations, and thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below.
There's also a handout in the last slide.
Oh, yes.
We expect you to fill it out and bring it to class on Thursday. Thank you.